Hey, what is going on, guys? What's happening? Hope you all are having a fantastic day, guys. All right, listen, I want to hop on here, guys, and talk to you all today about 3 rules for having on point trade entries. These things are very small, but very important and will help you ensure that you're getting the best entries for your trades. All right, and believe it or not, guys, these are things that anybody can do. It comes down to just having a few things within you to make sure that you're doing it. Okay, so let's get right into it, guys. Also, if you're not connected with me, guys, check me out. Depending on what platform you're watching me on, connect with me on Instagram as well, Eddie Harvey Online, right up there. Follow me and I'll follow you back. All right, so guys, listen, let's talk about what is the first thing, guys. When it comes to entries, I talk to some of my customers, I talk to different people, and they say they struggle with entries. When to get into a trade? When do you get in? That's something that people don't know sometimes. It's kind of like, you've seen the girls when they would jump double dutch rope, right? You've seen it as a kid growing up. I don't know girls even still jump double dutch anymore, but it's all about your entry, when you're going to jump through that rope. So it's about timing. So the first thing you want to do, guys, that's critical to your timing is follow your trade parameters. Number one, stick to your guns, follow your trade parameters. So whatever your strategy is, right? Whatever your strategy is that you're learning, or whatever strategy that you're using, if that strategy has 3 steps for you to follow, you follow those steps before you get into that trade. Again, you follow those steps before you get into that trade. If step 1 and step 2 happen and step 3 doesn't happen, you do not get in the trade. See, people sometimes they'll see a trade take off, but if it hasn't done everything you needed for it to do, then people make the mistake of jumping in, just moving. So you get antsy, right? You get the happy fingers where it's like you got to press buy or press sell because you want to get that money. But then what'll happen is you'll have that early entry. Now you put yourself in a position to where that trade is going to have some drawback or a pull down, and then it goes the opposite way, and it may potentially stop you out right of the trade. And you're like, damn, I lost that trade, but it was doing what I wanted it to do, but it did not do everything. It did not do all of your steps. This is important. It's small things. So it's something like if you're waiting for a trade to break price at a certain point, right? If you're waiting for price to be broken, but you want to wait for it to retest before you enter that trade back into that zone, for people that know trading, they know what I'm talking about. If you just let it break and then you get into the trade, then you didn't follow all of your parameters. See, you can't skip steps. And that's one of the things that hurts you on your entry. There's been times when I've seen trades take off and where that trade might have went 50, 70, 80 pips, right? And it's like, damn, that's a really good setup. Okay. And when I look at it, like, well, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I'm not getting into it. While that might seem small, that's something that can come back to haunt you because if you get into a habit, if you do it one time, then you're going to do it again. And then guess what you're going to do? That's going to become your new habit for when you enter a trade. Oh, well, I had 3 steps, but it's doing 1 and 2, and I've been winning. So I'm just going ahead and get in. Okay, unless you're converting your strategy. If this will be 1, 2, 3, enter, and you start doing 1, 2, enter, then you'll get to the point where you're going to go 1, enter. Okay, so now you're breaking the good habit that you formed by following your trade parameters. So the first thing you want to do is follow your trade parameters, guys, regardless of how good that trade looks. Number one. All right, number two, guys, listen, don't get caught up. Don't chase trades. Don't get caught up in the hype of chasing a trade. People make this mistake as well. More probably new people, right? Do not chase trades, guys. Listen, if a trade idea comes in and you've seen where it might be a super duper candle that's moving, it's rolling, right? You might have missed the entry, right? You might have missed that initial entry, and then you might be in your group. You might see people on your team or people you're connected with, like, bro, did you get in on that setup? Man, I'm up 50, 70, I'm up 100 pips, right? And they're like, damn, it's still going, it's still going. What people will do, they see this nice big red candle dropping or this nice big green candle going up, and guess what they do? They jump in the trade. Now you're stuck in this trade. You have no idea what's going on. You just saw it going and you jumped in. Okay. Unless you caught it at the beginning of a trade where it's like the trade just started forming, right? And you're looking at it where, okay, man, it's only up 5, 7 pips or so. Okay, that's cool to get in. But if you see a trade that's up 20, 30 plus pips, you don't want to get in that trade, unless you're trying to catch like 2 or 3 of those pips or something, because guess what it's going to do at some point, right? It is going to pull back. And that candle might continue just shoot, 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 but at some point it will pull back. But even if it doesn't pull back and it just continues to go, you'll get lucky that time. But don't make that a habit. Do not just keep jumping into a trade, man. When you see a candle spiking, or you see people in your team and your group like, man, I caught such and such. Who else caught it? Who else getting this bag? Who making this money? Did y'all catch this? Are y'all catching these pips? And it's like you start seeing all of this, and you go see a trade. They like, man, it's still going. Because sometimes people ask, can I get in now? Can I get in now? And then people be like, no, do not get in. And there's a reason for that, because you missed the move. So understand there will always be more moves. There will always be more moves. Guess what? What's going to happen if you look for your next zone, right? You might find an area where you can get to that trade on the next zone. Okay. So do not force it, guys. Don't chase the trade. Okay. Don't do it at all. So we have sticking to your trading parameters, right? Rule number one. Rule number two, do not chase trades, guys. And rule number three, guys, I just had a tip of my tongue and I had it in my head this whole time. But there's a lot of things that can be rule number three. So this is something for sure that you do not want to do. When you're getting into a trade, guys, when you get into a trade, if there are no trades, guys, don't trade just the trade. Okay. So don't trade just the trade. Be patient. That's what I want to talk about. Having patience, waiting for your setup to happen. Sometimes we get to the point where we feel like we got to trade every day. Every day there might not be a setup. Sometimes the market might just be murky. It might just be consolidation, guys. And you got to wait for that perfect entry. You might have marked your pair up, right? You might have marked that pair up. And then now it's like you see it starting to do something, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get in. It's gonna do what I want to do at some point. Now you just got yourself stuck in a situation you don't want to get in. So you got to have patience. If you feel like you need to trade because you want to make money, you need to catch pips, you need to whatever make up for a loss you took or something. You don't want to trade just to trade, guys. So that puts you in a position to where you're getting poor interest. You get piss poor interest if you're just trading just to trade, okay? And you got to have patience along with it. So don't trade just to trade. Make sure you have patience. There's been times where you'll mark a setup up and like, man, that looks real good. Should I get in now? And it's like, nah, it's not quite ready yet. So that trade setup that you set up, it might not activate until tomorrow. But you got to have the patience to understand you got to wait sometimes. So something I learned from some of the educators inside my platform is that the impatient trader pays the patient trader. So you want to be a patient trader, guys. Trading is a patient person's game. I always look at it as like a predator stalking his prey. You got to wait for the right move. You got to wait for the right moment. Just don't get in anything. You're looking around, man, I didn't take not one setup today, right? And if you get to that point where it's like, now you're forcing the issue. Now you're forcing the entry versus having the patience to wait on what it is that you really, really want. All right, guys. So there you have it. Those are the three things I wanted to share with you all. I hope you all found some value in it, man. Get out there, crush the markets, do what you got to do, guys, and put yourself in position to win. And part of that is having good entries, guys. The three things I shared with you should give you some insight into something that can help you better when you want to enter the market. So just remember that. All right. So, guys, with that being said, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys. Listen, if you want to learn more about trading, Forex, cryptocurrency, indices, oils, metals, all of those different things, right? Message me, guys, or simply go to the link below, tradewithed.com, to find out more about the platform that I've been utilizing. We're helping 200 plus thousand people around the globe learn this skill and providing education and tools to help them earn while they're learning as well. So with that being said, I thank you so much. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care and have a great day.